Wes Miller and the Cincinnati Bearcats get humiliated, embarrassed, dog-walked on national television, lose the game 76-54. Wes Miller is going to finish his tenure. God forbid we don't play Houston in the conference tournament at 0-11 versus Houston. This might have been the ugliest loss of them all. If Wes Miller has any self-respect, he negotiates a buyout right now and lowers that buyout to, $4.7 million after March 31st. He negotiates that now because I'm frankly sick and tired of watching the guy waltz out there and lose basketball games. Just embarrassing. It's like a humiliation ritual watching this team at this point. No energy, sloppy, unprepared. It's just the list goes on and on. Houston is a really good team, but come on. I mean, what are we trying to do here? This is UC basketball, and we've truly forgotten that. We have no identity anymore. Welcome into Chatterbox Bearcats. I'm your host, Houdini. We got Eric Lilly with us. Lilly, any optimism out of you, man? Because I don't know. That was one of the grossest games I've watched in a long time, and we've watched a lot of gross games.
Yeah. Houston wasn't even close to filling their arena for a game against Cincinnati on Fox. A big game, it should be, right? That says a lot, number one. Another thing that says a lot is UCF just beat Texas Tech by 8 at home. I know it's a little weird to bring up, but UCF just did something that Wes Miller has not done in 5 years, is win a big game while you're on the bubble or while you're above the bubble. The last 5 years, we've lost that Texas Tech game that they just played today every single time. And Johnny Dawkins just did it. So, yep, it's not looking good out there for Wes. It looked like he was on the verge of crying a couple times during the game. You almost feel bad for the guy at this point. Like, someone needs to step in and tell him he needs to step down. Because, I mean, the way I look at this is from an athletic director and donor standpoint, and, keeping our budget looking right, which, we love to do. It would be stupid to fire him before that buyout drops, right? 4.69 million instead of 9. It would be ridiculous to do that. I mean, Kenny Payne got to the end of the season and he won like 2 games. So you need Wes to come in and be like, hey, I'm out of here. And then you can start talking. I think something tells me Wes wants to hang out and see Day graduate and stuff like that, though.
God, I mean, it's just better for everybody because you're right. There's a human element to it. And I'm like, the guy doesn't have it. Why keep, bringing him out there every night and just getting embarrassed? And it's 5 seasons with 5 different rosters. And this is somehow, record-wise going to be the worst team that he's had in year 5 with a loaded, from a money standpoint, a really expensive roster. Yeah, you do kind of feel bad. And then for us doing the show, as as podcasters, we're on the front lines. I mean, this is a difficult gig. But it's like, what do you talk about you talk about the game, the roster? Like, what's the point?
Let's break down the injury crisis.
Yeah. I mean, the announcers kept going on about, like, this team can't catch a break. Like, look, Mustafa Cham got hurt in this game. He was in a boot. Yeah. We didn't have Sincere Harris. Obviously, Jalen Haynes is out. It doesn't matter. If this team was fully healthy, we'd still stink. Obviously, when Mustafa went out, we were done. I mean, we were absolutely toast, but we were down like 14 at that point anyway. Nothing was going to change based on who we brought in this game, and it just makes it difficult to do these shows because what do we really talk about? Shirts? Do we just do every show is about shirts and Calhoun moving forward? It's just, it's pretty sad to see the state of the program, and that goes for football and basketball. We're in a tough spot, Willie.
Man, the injury thing, to me, is only a topic if, before the injuries happened, you built up that equity to be like, hey, look at what we were. And I know we lost Eastern Michigan with Baba out. I don't give a shit. It's Eastern Michigan. The injury excuse does not matter for that game, right? So it's just, and it's year 5. You had 4 other chances. So I feel bad, but
I mean, this is a big boy league. All right. Like, we could feel bad as much as we want. The guy's set up for life money wise. I kind of disagree with the ideology of this guy makes millions of dollars. So, like, doesn't matter. He's not emotionally affected by this. He's clearly hurt it. You were saying he was almost crying out there. But Eastern Michigan, you sent out a tweet. Who did they just lose to by like 30?
One of the directional Michigans Eastern Michigan was favored to win the game, and then they lost to Central Michigan by 35. Central Michigan scored 100 points against Eastern Michigan. We scored what, 55?
Yeah, no, Eastern Michigan was in like a betting probe where they were investigating players for intentionally losing, and we lost them on our home floor. I don't know. So if we run through this just for a box score, Baba Miller, we were giving him praise. He got locked up, man. Houston's got good defenders. They were all over him. He wasn't getting those cleanup baskets at all. He struggles to create his own shot, certainly. He was 1 of 8, 2 points. He had 8 boards. That's definitely the worst game we've seen of Baba. I don't even know. Does he even have a game with less than double-digit rebounds? I do not know. Mustafa Cham only played 12 minutes, 1 of 5, 2 points. Jizzle James, 5 points, 2 of 6. Day Thomas with 6 points, 2 of 8 from the field. Celestine has been like a bright spot for multiple of these games. He had 15 points, 5 of 7, hit 3 threes. And then Keyshawn Tillery had 14 as well off the bench. Other than that, you didn't really see much. I mean, we scored 54 points. And honestly, a lot of those came at the end. This game was way uglier than a 22-point loss. So yeah. I don't really know what you do. You roll out. It seemed like they definitely quit pretty quickly in this game. I thought maybe because this team has shown multiple times where they're down big, they claw back. When you're down big to Houston, it's different than being down big to Clemson. I mean, Houston's a really good team. And, we didn't see – it's crazy that, 3 weeks ago we were playing this team on our home floor with every opportunity to win the game, and we blew it. Like, you just don't get those chances often, and we had it, and you're not going to beat Houston on their home floor, especially with this team and this coach.
Yeah, and Houston's getting better throughout the season. Who could have seen that coming? I think I said before the season, Houston's going to be a little rough to start, and then they'll get better because this is the first time he's really relied on multiple freshmen. And today felt like the Arizona game in terms of physicality and presence. Like, never for one moment did I think we were winning this game. Just in terms of the physical, like, they're just bigger, they're stronger, they're smarter, they're getting easier buckets than we are. And I'm looking at the box score here. If you told me Baba and Cham were our 2 lowest scorers and Celestine and Tillery were our 2 highest scorers before this game started, I would have said we lost by 50 plus. Like, that's the most shocking box score I've ever seen. Like, how did, and this is worse than the Arizona game, right? Like, in terms of 40 minutes, I think it is.
Oh yeah. Oh no, yeah. I don't even think it's close. I mean, at least the Arizona game in the first half, I was like, hey, we're competing.
And poor
this
Day-Day,
was pretty much. Day has been terrible,
hard, but he's getting worse. Like,
he's been
awful.
This is like the worst
feels
stretch
like
of
he's
basketball.
Trying to save everything, and he can't.
Yeah, he has been. He had 6 turnovers, 2 of 8 from the field. I know Houston's a good defensive team, but holy hell, man! Like, we had 19 turnovers. I think we had like 7 turnovers in the first 6 or 7 minutes of this game, and a lot of them were unforced. Just launching the ball out of bounds, dribbling it off your foot type stuff. I don't really know where you turn, man. And I know you're a John Cunningham guy, but if we just look at under John Cunningham, what we've done as a program from a football and basketball perspective, in the Big 12, Wes Miller is 17 and 30 now in Big 12. Football, we are 9 and 18 in the Big 12.
Yeah,
we're really, really bad. I mean, we are bottom tier. Whenever you see those rankings of like Big 12 teams or whatever, we're at the bottom of the barrel in both sports. I just don't know how you can possibly look at the product you put out there and think nobody needs to be held accountable for it. And finally, they're going to fire Wes Miller. and they're going to have to pay him $5 million to do so. But it's just a shame. A lot of the last 5 years, a lot of joy has been sucked out of my life watching these damn teams, man. And I'm frankly sick and tired of it.
Yeah. I went through this week. I was looking at all my teams the last couple of years, and man, it feels like Cincinnati fans, all of their sports teams are combining into like this one huge sadness, and it's making everyone react accordingly, right? Like the Reds made the playoffs and no one gives a shit because it was just a miserable season. They didn't do anything in the playoffs. The Bengals, are the Bengals. And it's just UC feels like we were in this purgatory. When are we going to get good in the Big 12? Are we ever going to get good in the Big 12? And now we've reached hell. So change is coming. And I do think, I'm the optimist of the group, right? I do think having a really good, obviously good hire, like if we did get Shirts or Calhoun, or I would call Luke Murray that. I know some people we're starting to get in the weeds there of like, not everybody would be happy. But if you get a guy like that, after seeing the guys we've been linked with in previous, I'm going to go through a list of some of these guys that we had as finalists or interviewed the last 2 times we were open in the American, when we hired Brandon and when we hired Wes. Eric Pedon, Illinois State. Eric Martin, Frank Martin, sucks at UMass. Dambrot sucks at Duquesne. Moser sucks at Oklahoma. Savino, Nick Van Exel, he's not coaching. Bryce Drew, he's at Grand Canyon. John Brannon is a painter. Dane Fife retired from basketball because he's a psychopath as well. McMahon about to get fired from LSU. That's the names we were linked with. Like, that's the program that we were. And we should be sitting here right now thinking like, we're in such a better spot than we were the last 2 times. I mean, I do it. I'm the optimist. But like most fans do not feel that way right now because we haven't felt anything good happen since we got to this league. So yeah. I really hope this search is exciting. I hope we're linked to big names. And God, if we get a guy like Shirts, I'm actually going to like fall to my knees in public and just start crying. Like like, I can't believe this is my life. Like one of those moments.
Well, this is the positive spin, is that this coaching cycle is perfect to be firing a coach this year. Like, we're looking at what, like Providence and Syracuse are the 2 big names. I think UC is a much better job than both of those. And we've already heard, the Trilly Discord talking that Shirts would be interested in a UC job. And guess what? He averages more than 54 points a game over there at St. Louis, man. They just put up 100. I think they beat Dayton by 30 last night. That would be really exciting. A new coach changes everything, man. Like, it's a whole new program the second a new coach walks in the building. So that is the bright side, is that it's finally some light at the end of the tunnel. Now, there's been plenty of scenarios where you hire a coach that everyone thinks is a home run hire and somehow it doesn't work out. That would probably be our luck at UC. But I'm just glad we're making a change, man, because I can't keep watching this. I'm going to throw in, we don't have the voicemails ready because Niehaus is playing hockey.
Yeah, the people are clamoring for them in the comments.
Yeah, I'm putting the link in. If anybody wants to show their face, throw that little URL and you'll be linked into the show. If you want to show face, scream into the void about Wes Miller and what he's done to you and your family, let us know. But yeah, it's tough doing these shows because like it's not even going through the box score is just irrelevant. We're so far done. It's not even close now. What, that puts it at 3-6 in the Big 12. We're 500. Do you think we finish above 500 this year, Lily?
Nah, I think it's going to get worse. I think a younger Eric would be like, you know what, we're going to fight to the finish and keep playing hard. But I'm just starting to see things from Wes and the players that are like, they've kind of realized their fate. And it's, as a human being, it's hard to continue to play 100% or higher when you feel that pressure, when you feel it, the end is near type thing. So I think it's going to get bad. And I do want to respond to one of these comments from DJ Erie Tunes. Hire John Gross, tough as hell, has Power 4 experience. This is my fear, because if you miss on 5 guys, John Gross is sitting right there. And I don't want John Gross. He was Illinois' Wes Miller. I know he made a tournament there. Illinois has a ton of money. That's a really strong program that has been in the Big Ten forever. I think we're right there with Illinois, but if you hire John Gross, people are not going to be excited. He has Xavier ties. He sucked at Illinois, and what he's done at Akron is impressive, but Akron is still a strong MAC program. I don't think he's the only guy that can win there consistently. So that's the scary thing about this thing, Houdini, is we are that close to John Gross being a finalist.
John Gross would be interesting. I'm not saying I'd be happy about it.
We talked about though.
Yeah,
right?
no, I know. I mean, he was there when I was at OU for a year or two. I think that was the Sweet 16, DJ Cooper and those boys. He would be interesting. I can't believe he's only 54. I would have thought he was like older than that. He's been around for a while. But John Gross is where you start getting dicey with those names. And really, it's going to be not bubble watch this year. It's going to be making sure some of those power teams don't shit the bed down the stretch and fire their coach. Diebler, for example, at Ohio State. I think Ohio State is going to get the nod over UC most of the time. Although I think UC right now it's a great job, man. Like, we're still filling the arena with this product. Like, I really do. The facilities, everything. I mean, hell. Yeah. Can Wes stop wearing Jordans? He needs to put on Skechers or something. I'm sick of it now. It was cool for a little bit. When you keep losing, don't be wearing the Jordan 1s anymore. I'm done with it. But, yeah, it's really going to be just the coaching carousal at this point and figuring out what happens. I mean, hey, maybe we go on a miracle run and win the Big 12 tournament. Sneak in.
We're in the top half of the conference in attendance. And this has been a horrible season. And you see the pictures from the Syracuse game. You see the pictures from Missouri games. These programs that a lot of people would say are on par with us or better or a little worse. But we really need to shout out our fans a little more. I think that even like the Baylor crowd, it was almost 10,000. The Stripes were there. People are showing up at 6:30 on a weeknight, and it's 0 degrees. Like, it's impressive. And I hope that like coaches around the country still look at us that way, because a lot of the banter online makes it sound like we just suck. And I just fundamentally reject that. This is a really good basketball program. Just hope we prove it with this hire.
It's a good basketball city, man. It's just sad kind of what we've done for the last 5 years. And it really didn't hit the breaking point until last season. Like, I think a lot of people were still fully on the West train. He looked like he was showing a little bit of progress. And then conference play last year, everything went out the window. Everything went out the window. And then this season, at least this season, they showed us pretty quickly what this team is. I'll give them that. They didn't, break my heart and, we're 17th in the country or something like that, like we were last year. It's tough. And we shot, which is hilarious, we shot 43% from three today. 10 of 23. Probably one of the best nights we've had in the West tenure. And lost by 22 points. Tillery looked good, man. Tillery looked really good. He had some really bad turnovers. But at this point, who cares? I mean, maybe for the next coach, I'd love to see like statistics on how many players actually stay when a new coach comes. I'm sure it's extremely low, especially in the era that we're in. But McKinley and Tillery are really the only guys that you'd be keeping around. I mean, Jizzle James and Day Thomas, like I don't know what happened, but they've been horrible, truly terrible. I know Jizzle had a good game against Baylor, but my God, like what happened? Like last year, there was stretches where he carried this team. We're talking 25, 28 type of nights, and you're just not seeing it anymore. I know he had some, time off and everything, but they're just not the same player. And I don't know what happened to Day. He's been consistent for 3 years in a row. And then all of a sudden it's a brick wall. And I guess maybe to your point, he's just trying to do too much, but he's missing shots all of a sudden. Like he's not making threes as much. Granted, he hit 2 today. We'll take that. But the guard play has just been atrocious. I mean, you're not going to get anything. You're not going to get wins when your guards are this bad.
Yeah, the offensive decline, honestly, shocking from someone who wasn't really an offensive coach. Like 2023, we were 56th, which is his best mark here. 24, we were 79th, so down 25 spots. 2025, 100th, down 21 more spots. 2026, down 116 more spots to 216th. We're just too easy to guard. We're running the same shit we ran 5 years ago, and everybody knows who Jizzle James and Day Thomas are now. So it's honestly sad. I don't know how else to word. The questions of the.
Yeah, I thought this was interesting. And Cincy Toughness asked this as well, kind of where would Wes end up? And John Wright said Wes is rumored to be a possible candidate for Georgia Tech opening. If that's true, he may agree to a mutual buyout. Let me say this. If Georgia Tech hires Wes Miller as their head coach, send that program into the sun. That's a power conference team. They're going to hire. No, Wes Miller should be no higher than MAC level. If he gets a head coaching job, like what has he shown that says, hey, I can be a head coaching job? Maybe in whatever conference UNC, whatever Wilmington is in, he can go there. But I don't know, Lily, what do you think? You think he's going to get a legit head coaching position?
Yeah, a couple other questions regarding that. First of all, Georgia Tech is not hiring Wes Miller because they hired, if they do, saddest program in the power. They to go from Brian Gregory to Josh Pastner to Damon Stoudemire to Wes Miller. That's 4 Spider-Mans pointing their fingers at each other in a row over the span of 15 years. They cannot do that. Damon Stoudemire is Wes but worse. Pastner is Wes but better. They can't do that. I do think there is a potential power landing spot out there, like Boston College, something like that. Wake Forest, if his dad pulls some strings. I think much more likely is like an American job as the more realistic high point. I think, like, to me, a program that needs a little revival of energy and maybe believes Wes can get a better staff, like Wichita State or something, is like the peak I can see.
Get a better
I think
staff.
It's much more likely he's at like Charleston or High Point or something like that. Like, it's, just some random ass decent to really good mid-major program.
If he goes to Boston College, he's kissing his career goodbye.
Yeah,
you get 2 stints. You get 2 stints in the Power Four, don't succeed, which nobody can succeed at Boston College. He's done. If he's smart, he goes to a small school. I mean, Charleston, if Mac wants out, Charleston's like a great small school. If you're the head coach, they pay well.
Really fine there. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, hell, when you really look at it, he was fine in the American. He really was. Like, the really first 2 seasons, you're like, all right, yeah, I can see it. And then once we get into real Big 12 play, the problem is we just really haven't even been on the bubble. Like, we've just been so far away from being a real tournament team. You know what I mean? Like, it was fun. I was calling him Bubble Boy for the last couple of years, and we can't even use that this year. But we were at least, like, if you rattled off 2 or 3 straight, which we could never do ever. It's impossible. I think we lost 3 of our last 4 right now. We don't win back-to-back games. It's very rare. I'd love to actually see the numbers, maybe like once or twice in his entire tenure in the Big 12 as he won 2 games in a row. But yeah, Charleston would be a great fit if Chris Mack. I mean, were they going to fire Mack? I know he's not having a great season, but he might just be done.
That's just a Trilly Discord rumor that Mack might leave or do something. Yeah, so if that opens, it's like a place I could see him landing. And I don't know. I would hire him as a low mid-major confidently just because, he'd get your small fan base excited and maybe will be a good coach. Like, that's kind of the waters that they're swimming in down there, There's a lot of jobs, and Wes Miller is a D1 coach. He's proven that.
It would just be hard. It'd be hard as an AD to watch us play offense and say, yeah, you know what? Let's implement that
exactly.
here. Like, no matter what level you're talking about, it looks like a different sport today. Like, Houston was just absolutely dog walking us from start to finish. And Wes Miller's got nothing left. He doesn't have a Jizzle James he can throw on the court anymore. He's got no, ace in his pocket that he could play. Jalen Haynes, you got lucky, brother. you got lucky because you got another year of eligibility because there's no chance in hell that he's going to suit up. If he did, that would be insanity. So at least he got another one. I guess the other thing is going to be interesting to see where these players land, like a Jizzle James, for example. I can't imagine that he's going to return next year, although he clearly loves UC. His brother goes there, Edrin, big UC guy. But that'll be the other kind of piece of the puzzle that'll be interesting to watch, is just kind of where some of these guys with eligibility land.
Fascinating. We're going to have 2 straight years of a completely new team, which, it doesn't feel like that long ago when we were just shocked that Nasir Brooks left to go to Miami to get a graduate degree instead of just staying here. Like, I just remember being like, what? Brooks, like, he's been here his whole career. What is he? And now it's back-to-back years of losing the entire team. If we get a guy like Josh Schertz, I don't care who he retains. I don't care who he brings. I trust him. But it's a much bigger topic, if it's not a slam dunk hire. Who do you want to bring back? To me, McKinley's the one, and it's the most realistic one, right?
We'll see. I think you got to go all in, all out blitz for Schertz. Initially I was kind of conflicted with him or Calhoun, but after watching our offense and seeing what Schertz is doing over there, man, I would love to see some high scoring games. Like, hey, even if we're not, I'm not asking to be a top 20 team in the country. Be competitive, make the games enjoyable to watch, and the wins are going to follow. If you can put number one, get an offense that is, competent to some level, and then you can work on the defense. Like that's the thing with Wes is these. Yeah. I don't know. You probably have the Ken Palm up. His defenses have been good. That doesn't get the job done. Really good. Clearly, it doesn't get the job done. Offense first, figure out the defense.
8th in the country. And we're not even sniffing the bubble. Honestly, the fact that we have the 8th best defense in the country and we have not sniffed the bubble for one moment the entire season is shocking. Like, that might not have ever happened before. That's how bad our offense is.
Probably never has, especially for a team in a power conference. Like, you don't see those numbers. When you look at where we're at, like in the net ranking or whatever, when you see a single digit next to it on the, defensive efficiency or whatever, it's very rare that a team is not even remotely close to the bubble. That's hard to do.
Yep, not even. We could win our next 4 games, so we wouldn't be on it.
But Corey Evans is back, right? No matter what.
I think so. True? Yeah, we could talk a little about that. We signed Corey Evans to a 3-year deal as part of a way to be like, hey, we're running it back with Wes. We'll see what happens this last year. Maybe it'll change something, right? And so he has 2 more years on his deal after this. He is a GM, and he's well-connected, well-respected, NBA pedigree, high school. Like, everyone in the industry knows this guy. And he made a big risk coming here. He is completely incentivized to perform because he wants to be an NBA GM. And I'm okay with him being involved in the hire, personally. I understand why a lot of people aren't. But those same people don't want John Cunningham either. So to me, like, having Evans there is a good thing because he knows everybody. He knows that he might have a strong connection with Josh Schertz. We don't know. I just believe in him personally, even though we don't even know which players he got for this team. We don't know how involved he was with, we were linked with Kirk Kriisa for 3 years. I don't think he was like, oh yeah, I've been scouting Kirk Kriisa. Let's bring this guy in. He's the missing piece. I don't think that happened, And I think when he got hired, John Cunningham knew, like, hey, there's a chance here that this is done. I'm giving you a 3-year contract. I believe in you. This is how we get the deal done so that the risk you're taking to come here is worth it for you.
That makes way more sense from a Corey Evans perspective because I was sitting there going, wait a minute, what? You're going to, hatch yourself to a sinking ship right here. And, if Wes is gone, you're gone, which is a very likely event. But I'm a big proponent of get more smart people around you when making decisions like this. I think it's pretty clear that Corey Evans is smart when we're talking about the game of basketball. I literally, when he was on Russillo's podcast, I'm like, this guy, he's Steve Jobs, except he doesn't like phones. He just likes the game of basketball. This guy's a genius. So yeah, no, I'm all for that. It's just an interesting dynamic when you get a new coach, how they operate. Like, I don't know what the landscape of college basketball is impossible. Like, did Shirts, I know he got Robbie of Avila. I wish he had another year, but like, is he putting together the roster? Is he working with a group of people to do it? I'm sure it's a collaboration, but it'll be interesting to see how that fits. It's almost like a new NFL coach with a sitting GM, how those work. So I think that'll be an interesting dynamic. And the GM thing is new in general. So it's like, you don't know.
Yeah, and every team does it different. Like I mentioned this in a group chat the other day. Duke's GM is a branding NIL marketing guru. UNC's GM is an agent. NC State's GM is a scout. Our GM is a scout. Both of those scouts have a ton of connections, Slater and Evans, but they're still going to be involved in things like this if they stay around. I assume he's going to stay around. We'll see. But like, just as an example, this is a very soft link, and it might not mean anything, but OKC's head coach, Mark Daignault, I think that's how you say it, Daignault, is a UConn guy. He coached at UConn when Luke Murray was there. Like, that's one connection away from Corey Evans, who's worked with Daignault. So you'd think he has a pretty good background report on Luke Murray if it does get far, if we are seriously considering Luke Murray. So I just think it's nice to have that perspective in addition to whatever Cunningham and the donors do.
I totally agree. Corey Evans, he got one year. And as we've seen, the proof is in the pudding. It's not the roster. It's not the players. It's the head coach. And it's the coaching staff. We have 47 assistants. No one knows what they do. We clearly can't figure out how to get an open look. We can't make open looks when we do have open looks. It's a really frustrating team to watch, and it's been a frustrating 5 years of Wes Miller. That's pretty much all I got, Lily. Do you have any closing thoughts? I think we got West Virginia. Is that a Thursday?
Yeah.
It's a Thursday night game. Okay.
That's we're doing the old Thursday, Sunday.
Thursday, Sunday. So your Thursday and Sundays will be ruined. I'll be tuning in. I understand. I think there's multiple comments saying they didn't even watch today. They probably just saw Houston was on the schedule. We kind of know how this goes, as you know, Wes Miller has gone 0-11 versus Houston, and probably the ugliest loss of his entire career at UC was today. But I do have to mention Martino's, our presenting sponsor. Great to watch the games. If you're still watching, go watch them at Martino's. 2-foot hoagies, Stromboli. Still haven't had it yet. Heard it's fantastic. I need a big slice of Stromboli there. Yeah, that's really going to do it for us. Again, UC loses 76-54 to Houston. Wes Miller. Maybe we'll do a live show when Wes Miller negotiates that buyout and leaves
emergency
a little
live
bit earlier.
Show at Martino's.
I mean, Chris Mack did it, right? Didn't Chris Mack do that with Louisville? He was like, yeah, just whatever. Give me like $2 million and I'll walk out the door, because he was unhappy. Wes Miller's clearly unhappy, man. It's hurting his mental health.
Your closing thing here, but like, think of it from Wes's perspective. He can start looking for his next job. Like, take a little break, reset his mind. It's possible, guys. It's just.
Well, truly, if you're Wes Miller, what's the point of like looking at the scouting report for West Virginia? Truly. From his perspective, what is that actually? I know he obviously likes to bring out a team that is competent and shows that he's been, quote unquote, doing his job. But the season's dead and gone, man. There is nothing for him left with this university. We wish him well, but I think it's best for both parties just to say, hey, didn't work out. Let's move on. You go to your next venture. We'll go hire Shirts. Luke Murray is also a good wild card hire. I would not be pissed off about that. Granted, a lot of unknowns with Luke Murray since we've never seen him be a head coach. So, yeah. So that'll do it. Chatterbox Bearcats, Hudson Klauke, Eric Lilly. We will keep doing this show. No matter what happens, we will still be here, even if Chad Dollar is the interim head coach. But appreciate you guys joining in. We are going to do a live show at Martino's at some point. At that point, it's just going to be doing a coaching hot board, watching the game, having some beers with the boys. But that'll do it from us. Appreciate you tuning in. Like and subscribe. I got to mention that, especially to our Chatterbox Bearcats YouTube page. We're trying to grow that a little bit. Kind of tough when you keep losing every damn game that we have. But like and subscribe where you can, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever it is. But appreciate it, and peace.